All right, guys, well, here's the next project for the day. Something is missing right here. Turns out the customer called me on Friday or so. This is Monday, by the way. They said their Kelly bar broke. This is a foundation drilling machine. Drills big piers for big structures and buildings. Got a big hole in the ground over there. So obviously it cracked and broke off, and it looks like it had been cracked for a while. I guess they didn't catch that, and then it just snapped off eventually. So instead of welding it back on, what they're okay with for me to do for them today is to just cut this square flange off, slide it up a foot or so that this remaining piece slides into the augers or core barrels, and then just cut out another pinhole for attachment. So we were a little concerned that it wasn't going to come apart initially, because running in this mud and silt and stuff really gets to be really messy, and sometimes they can stick together. But fortunately it was still very wet, so it didn't dry up and create, you know, a concrete type effect. So I had my son here helping me clean this stuff off, and we'll clean this area off here, go ahead and start gouging that, take this piece off because they want to reuse it, then start trimming up the end, sliding this guy up, cutting a hole, re-welding. So nothing but a step for a stepper, as has been said before. So hang tight. Okay, that should be enough to expose, you know, the weld that was there. Same thing here. See a few stringer beads in that area. So I'll try and go ahead and gouge these things off and find a separation line between the two. Same thing here. Gouge all this off and see if I can take this piece off. Gouging next. Okay, so I was struggling to find a separation line. You can barely see it. Where is it? Right in there, right in there. Very tough to see. So that is good. I can just follow it around now and then be able to knock that off. So took me a little bit of digging. I don't know if you guys can see it. Right in there. So very nice. All right, now that we found it, much better success. Okay, so that didn't take too terribly long. You can see the bucket of dirt right in that area. I found that separation line. All the way around. So what also is helping, sorry. Now that I've done the gouging on the bottom and do the gouging on the top, that's helping to preheat this thing, because this is a solid piece of bar. And so when we cut the end square, it'll be easier to cut with a torch. And then when we pierce the hole through here, it'll be easier to do that. And then when we weld this back on there, it'll be easier to do that. So it's all a process of preheating this at the same time without having to waste too much fuels, you know, propane or gas, acetylene to say. And so I think it's looking good. Oh, look at that. There's a good start point for us. There's a crack right in that area. So we'll start this side now, and hopefully this will tap right off. Hopefully. All right, let's keep going. All right, so that didn't take long. As I mentioned before, it turns out there was a big old pile of dirt in there, and it seems like as if it had cracked before and people just tried to weld over it. So this is very evident, very visible. Oh, you can see it in the video. So now very similar. My son's gonna take over and do some maybe long L's, to say L pattern down this wall or this surface, and then away in kind of a long weave pattern or an L pattern to say. And hopefully he can find the separation line also. So not bad, not bad. We're moving along pretty good. Not bad. You're getting there. Yeah. Okay. Do a little bit more cleaning on the bottom plate. That way it'll come off. Yeah. Yeah. Your angle is too sharp. Send it up a little bit more. There you go. Okay, a little bit more on the bottom plate. Gouging is not easy. You're doing a good job. Get the hammer. Let's see what'll come off. Yeah, take the ground off, see what happens. I got the hammer. I got the hammer. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna come off. Just tap it off. Yeah, good job, bud. Dirt. Okay, so we got a little bit into the parent metal, which is no big deal, but we can go ahead and use this as our flat instead and cut all that bad off, and that way there aren't any stress risers in that area. So we can mark this around and cut a clean line, and then mark our needed measurement here. I think it's a foot. Clean that up, slide it back on, glue back together. Okay, looking really nice. All right, guys, so I'm gonna be cutting this square here. I'm gonna try my best to cut it as flat as possible to the bottom of this bar. This is a 4 1/4 inch solid bar, and I'm using a Victor torch with a number 2 tip. This is already preheated a little bit from the gouging, and of course it's not hot enough yet, and so I'm gonna have to make up for it with a higher pressures. I'm gonna be using 7 on the acetylene and 50 on the oxygen for now. Normally I like 7 and 70 for everything, but a number 2 tip is pretty big. So hopefully we can just slice that across. It may take a couple of tries to work my way to that until the material is hot enough to cut cleanly. So there may be some serrations and things that will come out in it at first, but I'm slowly gonna work my way to that line, and hopefully I can get it fairly flat, or maybe if anything a small bevel, triangular bevel, not triangular, 4-sided bevel to a point, hopefully no more than a 1/4 inch from this line, but we'll see how it goes, because this is tough to cut no matter how you slice it. So let's see if I can do it. Okay, we're gonna change torches. I already swapped the tips out. Turns out there's a flame coming out of here somewhere, so I didn't want to continue with this one. I don't know if it's I don't know. So this is my usual torch. I just put the different tip on it, so we're gonna go with this one. Take 2. Boom. Okay, we'll clean this up with a needle scaler a little bit, make it a clean surface, and then we'll try and shoot it, cut those lines a little bit better now. Not bad. Some say it was photoshopped. Kidding. So we're just cleaning up the miscellaneous slag on the opposite side, because I'm going to try and shoot as long as that way, as much as I can. So I cranked up the pressure to 70 pounds on the oxygen. I like the way it was cutting through it at the 50, but I could tell that it was dragging very far behind, and I had to be very careful not to outrun it and then create a problem with it not piercing all the way through. So I crank up the pressure a little bit and it should do fine. All right, we had a bit of a pause there, which stinks because this is cold now. It's gonna suck to cut. We had it kind of warm earlier, that's what makes it a little easier to cut. And so now that we're resituated for the second time today, it's kind of I mean, it is what it is, right? So I was hoping that this cut would preheat it enough to make a nice smooth cut. The second one, so I may struggle a little bit, but it is what it is. I mean, what are you gonna do? So let's continue on and see if it'll cut. Okay, I didn't like that line, so I was cutting it a little bit crooked, and so now I got some heat into the material, and so it should cut a little bit better. right, so this looks a little rough, but I mean, this is about as good as I can get. It's pretty square that way, and then this is a little bit high here, so it's a little bit off, but oh, strong 16th. That's what the grinder's for, right? And this I was shaking too much, but either way, a little bit of cleanup, then we can go ahead and put this flange where it needs to go here and cut this hole last. The customer wants me to do it in that order anyway, so we'll have to see. Actually, the hole will be right in this area. Flange next, clean that up, flange, hole. All right. Okay, we got it where we want it, and this is, you know, already been worn into the material, so we're just going to put this flange back up on there to where it touches. Whether it be square, I don't know, but at least it's back to its original surface, and then from there we'll go ahead and weld, yeah, just like that, where it makes contact, and then we'll go ahead and weld the bottom side, slide this sleeve up, and then weld the top side. So we're going to use a wire machine. I got to rush because we're double booked today, so we need to get it done. All right, so this looks like about as good as it's gonna get. It's about as flat as it needs to be. So we're good. We're just gonna fill this up. It's nothing really fancy to watch. There are some spots that are a little low. It's gonna be a little tougher. Should put that on the top. But either way, it's gonna look fine when I'm done. Let me get all the light. So let me go ahead and start welding it up. Not bad. Let's see. That might be the only pass I put on the bottom. I don't actually know. Being that it's going to have double passes, or maybe I'll run a couple more. We'll have to see. Looking good so far. Tell you, sometimes it's a love-hate relationship with these wire machines. I had the tension too tight, and right as I was finishing it, that really sucks. I was having a decent run, and then it stops right before it. Dang it. All right, let me fix this up and loosen the tension a little bit. Okay, I didn't realize my camera shut off. Battery died. But there's that one there. I'm gonna go ahead and put another pass. I didn't like that one there. Put another pass on each side, make it a little bit heavier. I think I don't really need it. Maybe I do. Let me go and do it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave that as it is. Seems like we got enough weld on there. The toes of the weld here aren't so sharp that it'll create too much of a stress riser. I did a weave on the first part and then it overhung a little bit, so I went ahead and put a little stringer that way. Same thing, looks pretty good. Great. It looks good there. So, not bad. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, next step is to slide this up, weld the top sides, and then cut this hole. All right, so not so bad here, right? It looks pretty good. This has some clearance in it to accept the weld, so we'll just have to kind of make it small-ish. Maybe a couple of passes. One pass to seal that gap, and then one hot pass over it, and that should do it. So we're getting there, we're getting there. He's learning how to fill the gap. I did one on this side. And you have to go slower and then faster depending on how big the gap is. Go ahead. So this one here looks alright. Not too bad. Let's see if you can see through my helmet. Alright, don't touch the tip to that. We'll come back in a second. Very nice. All right, a couple more passes and we'll be done. Give it a quick little tour. Alright, so it did a fantastic job there. Not bad, right? Pretty good. So, no complaints. Pretty excited. You know, he's doing really well. So, got a couple little pinholes. We just covered over that. It's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. So, other than that, now we need to suck that guy up into that so we can let go of this strap, and then we can cut out the hole in there. We're going to be using the exothermic, as you saw briefly earlier, to punch the hole through it, and then we can open it up either with gouging or continue with that. So that's the next step. All right, so this is where the pin goes. Is 2.5 inches from the bottom. This is an 1.75 inch hole to the inside. So long as I sit at the inside of that, it'll be fine. The pin is 1.5 inches. So we're going to use the exothermic to try and pierce right through the center and see if we can shoot all the sparks that way. And then from that point I can go ahead and open that up to these edges here, and hopefully that'll do it. Now some people can want to put a mag drill. I tried putting a mag drill on this, but this surface is not flat enough for a mag drill. What happened one time to me is the mag drill come off and it spun around, hit my shoulder, so that was not good. So no more mag drill for me. So this seems to work out pretty good. You guys will see. I've done this before, so but I don't think I've showed it to you guys. So here we go. the bullseye. That's okay though, at least it got through. That's good. Okay, let me open it up some more. Actually, the pressure is a little low. Get a little old and they get little oxidized inside there, so it makes it difficult to start. So once they start, but it's just kind of tough. inside of that. Okay, let me mark it over here. Good. That other side's all right. Just need to fine tune this side a little bit. Like inside this side of the hole. Maybe. Hopefully the pin fits in there well. It looks like I may have to trim it up inside. Ooh, it got stuck. Okay. I don't know. You slide it up? Oh, alright. Okay, I see it. It's on this side here. Okay, it's about a third of the way in. It's mostly stuck on this side. I can see it right here. Okay, a little more. Alright, so those are proving to be no good, especially when I need to fine tune it. It's gonna be a little more difficult, so I'm gonna go ahead and use an arc gouger to kind of make that whole round outreach in there. So we'll see. I have to use my brace, right, the pipe clamp, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Alright. There you go. Right on. Pretty straight. Kinda. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's pretty straight. Okay. Good. All right. Well, that looks like it'll do it then, because we have to hurry. We've got another job at the airport. Yeah, it came out all right. Look at that. More or less. And unfortunately I won't be able to film that. So hope you guys learned something. And you know, it's kind of interesting. You got to have all the tools, all your tricks in the bag, so to pull off some of these things. And I'm very fortunate that I've been able to get the right tools. So I hope you guys learned something, and thank you again for the support. And we will catch you guys on our next one.